So today we saw Tesla stock have a green day, recovering some of the losses we saw take place from yesterday's trading session. However, it didn't fully recover from the losses of yesterday, but we did get a lot of great optimistic news with Tesla stock today, with one of the most optimistic pieces being billionaire Ron Baron providing some bullish outlooks for Tesla stock in the long term, with him notably saying that he believes Tesla stock will be worth 4 to 5 times more by 2030 and is going to become the largest company in the world in 10 years. And personally, these are bullish outlooks that I have as well, looking for Tesla stock going into the long term. Again, this is not going to happen overnight. But we also had Ron Baron kind of talk about what's going on with the UAW and how that impacted Tesla stock yesterday. In fact, I want to go ahead and play this clip for you guys right over here.
The unions have been trying to organize Tesla, Toyota, all the foreign companies for years. They failed repeatedly. Why? Because those companies are not, the union's not in business to keep the employees. Their unions have the power.
Before we move off Tesla, just for
by the way, the stock went down yesterday, not because of that report.
Okay, what do you think it is?
Because of Joe Biden, President Biden, who, by the way, I love what he's doing for Israel, but I don't like that much what he's doing in business. Some things I like. But he's the one who said unions should organize Tesla. That's what happened yesterday when the stock went down.
Okay, we'll come back to the Biden piece in just a second.
Now, of course, I'm not going to go ahead and play the whole interview over here, but essentially what Ron Baron was saying is that the UAW is going to fail at trying to unionize Tesla. And one of the things that he was saying is that Tesla employees benefit from not joining the union. Now, again, I don't personally work in the factory for Tesla, and so I can't provide the insight of someone who's a worker for Tesla. But me personally, if I had to choose between working at Tesla and getting decent wages with stock options, right, to get stock granted, I would choose that any day over just simply getting slightly higher wages. Because at the end of the day, one of the best ways to build wealth is with equity in stocks and equity in real estate. And so if you get fairly decent wages with good benefits and the options to get stock for a company that's doing well and is going to continue to do well in the long term, well, of course, I would choose that any day. But again, I'm not a Tesla worker, but essentially what Ron Baron was saying is that it's very unlikely that Tesla will get unionized by the UAW. Now, we also got news that Tesla is now quietly listing new vehicles on cars.com, which is something that Tesla has never done. They've never sold new cars outside of its main website. Now, there's no update on how this is actually structured, whether Tesla has to pay a commission every time their vehicles are sold on different sites. But the idea is that this is really good news for Tesla because it's kind of like a sort of advertising, right? Because now when you go on these other car websites to buy a new car, you're gonna have the option to now buy a new Tesla versus only going directly to Tesla's website. So this is definitely optimistic news for Tesla. Now, although we did get a ton of great news for Tesla stock today, I'm still not going to go over here and try to lie to you guys and tell you guys that Tesla is going to do 50% rallies within the next week, because of course it's not likely to happen. Yes, I'm bullish on Tesla in the long term, but we still have to understand that there are some challenges with Tesla. And so yes, even though we have a lot of positive outlooks for Tesla, these are longer term views, and we have to understand that Tesla's business model currently is very sensitive to the interest rate environment. It's very similar to the real estate market. For example, when rates are high, it's very difficult for individuals to be priced in to actually buy a home. They're actually priced out of the housing market. And it's very similar with Tesla's business model, where if you're trying to buy a new car, well, right now, even with great credit, financing is still very unaffordable. And so this is why Tesla is still going to face some challenges, because Tesla is very sensitive to a high interest rate environment, unlike some other stocks like the chip makers. Think about AMD or Nvidia, right? These are companies where they're not really as sensitive to a high interest rate environment. And that's because you have to think about the customers for these chip makers, right? Because who are buying these chips? Well, it's corporations with billions of dollars who are racing in this AI race and trying to acquire as much chips. And of course, billion dollar companies, they're not going to worry too much about a high interest rate environment. They're still going to scoop up these chips, but it's different. We don't have corporations just scooping up Tesla cars right now, right? It's still consumers buying Tesla cars, at least for now. But this is why I'm saying, yeah, we have a lot of good news for Tesla stock, but there's still some challenges we have to be aware about. Now, taking a look at Tesla stock from a technical perspective, the view is still on that $226.97 area is still an area that we want to monitor closely, as it's been an area that has been a resistance area for Tesla for quite a bit in the last few trading sessions, and this is something that we absolutely still want to pay attention to just on a technical perspective. Now, I want to go ahead and cover what exactly we would need to see in order for Tesla stock to continue pushing upwards, but before we go ahead and cover that topic, I just want to provide a friendly reminder that if you have not done so already, or if you're new to the channel, consider tapping that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future upload. And while you're at it, consider checking out the links in the description below, because one of the links is going to be a link for my free weekly market pulse insights, where every single week I send out an email talking about what are some things that we have to be aware of as market participants moving forward into the markets. And again, guys, it's completely free. You just type in your email and I send that email out for you guys. So again, check out that link in the description, and I'm also going to pin it in the comment section down below. But with that said, let's continue moving forward. Now, of course, one of the things I talked about in the past is the Consumer Price Index, or the CPI report, that's coming out November 14th, and we want to pay attention to this as this is an inflationary gauge, and we want to see what ends up taking place with inflation, because of course, if we see inflation still stubborn and sticky, well, this is going to provide a bad taste for the overall markets, and we're most likely going to see more commentary from the Feds with a more hawkish rhetoric saying that rates have to get hiked even further. And so this is a huge report for the overall markets that could impact, again, the overall markets, but also Tesla stock as well. Now, of course, we want to be aware of the next Tesla event, which is the Tesla Cybertruck delivery event taking place at the end of the month, and this could provide a positive catalyst for Tesla stock, but simultaneously, it could also be a negative catalyst. And the reason why I say this is because one of the main concerns is the affordability of the Cybertruck. See, we still don't have any solid updates on this, and hearing that the Cybertruck could be much more unaffordable than what was previously intended or previously mentioned, well, that could sour Tesla stock's sentiment. So that's something that we absolutely want to be aware of as we move forward to the end of the month. But with that said, there's still a ton that we have to monitor in regards to Tesla stock, but I believe that there will be a ton of great opportunities for those who are patient for Tesla stock. For example, me personally, I am a long-term investor for Tesla stock. I've been investing in Tesla stock since 2017. However, I also believe that there's going to be a lot of great opportunities for those individuals that trade Tesla in the short term as well. For example, I invest in Tesla in the long term, but I also have a short-term trading account where I either day trade or swing trade Tesla stock as well. This way I hedge my long-term portfolio, and I believe that for traders, we know that Tesla is a high beta stock, meaning that when the market moves up or down, Tesla moves up or down aggressively, right? Or just at a different multiple. And so there's definitely going to be a lot of opportunities as we move forward to the end of the year. But with that said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys found some value. And before you guys go, make sure to watch this next video right over here. And I'll see you guys on that next video. Take care, guys.